ground plane.
That's almost cheating, but I like it.
Yeah, it's a good combo.
I know a guy in Texas that did that with a Suro, and man, that works good for him.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, that's what they say. The third time is a charm. I think that's what it is.
The number 4 hammer always works.
All right, I see the meters are moving. That's a good thing.
Yeah, meter is moving and no smoke. Good day.
All right, let's try the Jingle Singers, the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
I didn't think this was ever going to happen here. There's too many things going on. And 007, you're right. I think we had the Rice checks in the wrong spot. As good as it gets, the Old Tube Radio Network, I believe at 27085. I know we are there, channel 11, during this sort of like block out of DX going on. Also at oldtuberadio.net. Check there. There should be a stream link if you want to get the audio and or the video, which appears to be up. So good stuff. Just had to use the number 4 hammer. My name is Dennis, one of the many net controllers to sit in the air chair of the Old Tube Radio Network, where we distribute information about the Class D 11-meter citizen band radio service and give you a chance to listen to and look at and maybe bring your own classic radios from 1958 when the FCC banged their gavel and said, yes, there will be a Class D licensed service, to about 1978 when they said, now nobody cares about tubes anymore, but we still do. So you'll hear that tonight. Plus, if you're not really familiar what CB sounded like back in the day when these sets were brand new, our operators will give you a taste of what that's like. The good operators, as it were. It is the first week of the 8-week roster. So before I do anything, and Charlie, we've got the numbers here. Thank you. All right. Thanks. So I need to pick a new 00. Thanks to Harvey, SWL20, who was good enough to stand by all those weeks to try and do it. We'll see who the new 00 is going to be. I just have to pull one out of the, what is this? Out of the Kirkland Raisins. All right, this is not an advertisement for Costco. And the winner, well, there's not much that you can win. It's more of a chore. Is SWL16. I know that guy. I'm just going to give him his own tag back there. He will check in tonight. That, of course, is Charlie out there near Anoka, Minnesota. Do you want it? You want your tag? You're gonna pin it on your lapel? Okay. There you go. So we'll get Charlie checked in, and I will unkey so we can take any and all early check-ins. I'm listening.
24 checking in.
24. I hear you, Joseph. The X is in the square. Over.
111 mobile from Granite Park.
111 mobile from Granite Park. Is there anything? Speaking of Granite Park, is there anything open in Granite Park? Are you the only one in the parking lot?
No. Club One's over here now, and they've got amazing amount of traffic. And me and Ed's is over here, and they're doing good. Their parking lot was full. But the main parking lot was the one on the north end, and it's full of building being built. So, no.
All right. Well, yeah, me and Ed's has been there a long time, and there were some other things going on. All right. Well, it sounds good. You are putting in a super bang-up signal, which you will be able to hear if you turn on the replay later on. But thanks for, it's not 110 degrees, so it's probably not that bad being out in the parking lot.
Yeah, 91 today with 17% humidity in Reedley. It was a beautiful day. Take care. Have a great night. See ya. 111 mobile, clear.
All right, always a good day in Reedley, and thanks for doing the other nets that you do to keep all that stuff going. You're sounding good. That was Robert SW11. Any other early items of interest here on the Old Tube Radio Network?
61 checking in, Dennis.
61. Hello, Dino. I am beaconing over the trees and the bees and the crows and all that stuff to say hello, radio, and you are checked in.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll take you as you go here. We're going to be here for a couple hours, so you don't have to be right on time for any of this. 00 is checked in. He's waving. You want to come around and say hi? No, he says no. SWL number 1, of course. And I did see Mr. OBP. SWL 2 was on earlier. I'm not sure if he's right there right now. We had what? Who was out there listening? About 5 minutes of the mini grass come in, and that's about all that I heard for the mini grass. So number 2 is in. John, I see SWL 28. Let's get you checked in now if you have to skedaddle, but there's the X. Also, 69, Kenny was in, so I'll make sure that he gets the check in. Let's go to, got a proxy for SWL 3. Did Levon say hello, radio? I think he stopped by a little bit earlier. SWL 5, I've got you. How about 7?
Yeah, proxy, Ed.
Okay, he snuck in on the chat window. He's right there. All right, no proxy necessary. I thought so. He's a tricky guy. See, Ed is a former net controller. So he knows the little tricks to get in, to get checked in. I'm making my X's in the square. If you the new 8-week roster, there it is. If you're playing the home game, you will be putting X's in 8, 15, 20, 26. What are we doing? We're going to head out to Sangertown. 982 SWL 9, Mr. Dirt Dog. Proxy for the Dirt Dog, not a problem. Will we hear Idaho tonight? I'm not sure. 10 and 30. I'll put them on the possible X in the square. For Chrissy, she should be coming up there. I'm not sure. I don't think they're out of the fire zone, I hope, up there. We'll find out. SWL 11 and 12. There's Dan and Dapper Dan. I know Dapper Dan was... his number's in this bucket somewhere. He's always right there with perfect attendance, in the parking lot early, helps out, cleans up after the program. Probably should get some special award for that. But looking good, Dan and Dapper Dan. I am looking and feeling dapper. It's been a really good week, except for the last 2 hours, trying to get everything to work here. But it's been fun. So. I've got my dapper going. Thanks guys, for checking in. SWL 13, probably on the crossband, which is up. The Echo link is up. I see Tony is there standing by. Various ways to get in and or out. Somebody else snuck in. Who was that? 67. I see you, Bill. Let me get you in right now. Were we to have any conditions, it might be up your way. $23 Skidoo is trying to run up the points. It was like a QRZ thing where you check and you hit the button and all of a sudden there's 40,000 lookups on your call. So I guess if that works. Boxman, Richie's staying in the AC room tonight. What happened? They've got the evaporative cooler going on today. They don't have the AC. I think what it is, when the temperature doesn't get over 100, back here in the control room, we don't get the good stuff. All right, I called 13. Let's go to Sangertown for SWL 14.
And Dennis 14 checking in, and Dirt Dog is officially a teenager today. He's over out at his mom's, but I wanted to say happy birthday to him over the air, and I hope everybody's having a great evening out there.
Indeed. Boy, it was a long time since that happened. All right, happy birthday, Dirt Dog. Thanks. We got you checked in, and lots of fun stuff coming up. So he's a good guy. Does lots of stuff, and he's got many more heads. So all right, thanks. Good Hope he's having a great birthday, and we will look for him next time. And by the way, you are sounding good.
Much. I will catch you a little bit later.
Indeed. All right, there is 10 and 30. 10 and 30 checking in. No Dolphins and no conditions into Utah. All right. Well, I don't know if you're listening in Utah or if you're out there in Utah, but we do. I'll get the 10 and the 30 just so you can see them stopping by. Let's go to SWL 15 and say good morning to Hans. Who is doing something somewhere. Yeah, 44 says, I can't believe it. Dirt Dog is already a teenager. You know, that just means we're getting older. It makes us seem older, huh?
Break OTR.
The break OTR, go ahead, over.
Yeah, I wanted to wish Dirt Dog a happy birthday from 10/17.
Good deal. He watches the replay or listening in. You might be listening in right now. You can do that. He'll say hello, radio. SWL 16, the guy that checked in at 00. Well, that's good. We're both on page 1. So he says get it over with all at the same time. There's Levon. I see you. I didn't see you before, but I see you now. So let me put 5 in the square. William Bill is in. Hello, Mr. Curtis, 2179. I see you up there. SWL 17. You know who also checked in that we haven't heard from in a long time was Uncle Gunther. From way out, my brother Frodex, the guy that put all this stuff together, is in Germany right now on some type of, I don't know if it's a cruise or what it is, but he's traveling around looking all that good stuff. So what time is it with you guys? It's late out there. It's like 3 a.m, something like that. But anyway, SWL 18, I will get a check in from Facebook for Mikey. SWL 19 on the cue cards. Chet is going like, darn it, no, you're in here too. And you know, Chet, it's like employees are okay. It's okay to put your number in there. Not like one of those things where you can't participate. Let's see. So Chet is in. Let's see if Harvey, the guy that was 00 for the last couple of weeks, last 8 weeks, for a matter of fact. Hello, 20.
Yep, number 20 here. First, happy birthday to Dirt Dog, a teenager. Hey, Big Sean, have fun. He's a teenager now. Okay, check me in number 20. And then there's a possibility that 2-1 JT will possibly check in, but he won't be live tonight. He sent me a message about that. So, okay. So after 2-1, check in 2-9 and 5-4. And then also 5-6, just for kicks. And then after that, poor number 81. He cannot get the internet or something to work on his phone or something where he's at. And he's just having all kinds of trouble. But I keep telling him, hang in there. And he wants to probably come over here and hang me. Okay, that should do it. I'm going to go get something to eat. See you a little later. Oh, I'm going to check in one of Cliff's radios that he's already sold. It'll be shipped next week. I'm just doing a fine-tune, just make sure. And so I'll check it in. Okay, back to you, Dennis.
All right, good transmission. Thanks for the fine-tune. You sound great tonight. Sounds like you've had your Ovaltine and your Wheaties and all that good stuff. Thanks for all the check-ins. 21 is on his, where is it? His portable universal media net web device. Where's mine? They say, while I'm on the air, I'm not allowed to have my phone. I'm not allowed to be scrolling on my phone, so they take it away. But anyway, I think that's JT said it's thunderstorms tonight. So to be safe, and we're glad that you're safe out there. He's on the portable device. Fireworks are going off. So we will get you, I see a JT, we'll get the X in the square. 20 is up there, 21 is up there now. So it's working well. Let's continue. I want to say hello to, who are the stations listening in? Fresno, Squamish, the Squamish boys. I don't know. Let me go quickly. I think I've got the chart up. It's showing nothing. And I don't know if it's broken. I mean, nothing out there. That normally has something on it. That's just totally... like Greg said, totally in blockout. Let's go to the other one. That's showing some numbers up on the MUFI 6 meters. We'll talk about that later. So that's up in, Oregon, Washington, Utah. I don't know. Just stay tuned. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna totally believe the numbers that's telling us we can't go anywhere. Hello to Woodward, Oklahoma. Champlin, Minnesota. We've got, it's so small I can't even read them. Coleman, Alabama. Concord, California. Hello to you. Brighton, Illinois. And up in the balcony, Madera as well. So thanks for joining us. You can go to oldtuberadio.net on any device. And if you click on the video, I think you'll get the audio. You don't even have to go to that YouTube thing. And if you're lucky enough to be close by and have a radio, we'll be talking to you because that's what we do. Here on the Old Tube Radio Network, we try and recreate the sights and sounds of the good old days when everything was glowing in the dark and heating up the room like it is now. SWL 22. Nothing from Alaska. SWL 23. He said he's working the numbers, so I don't know if he's at the casino or he's got some special little click lead thing where he's going click 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 and the numbers are clicking up. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. He's probably dealing with Espresso Trucking Company and all of that. But good to have you along tonight, probably in very cool in the Bay Area. It was cooler today. When it's 105 degrees here, you guys have fog. So I'm having a feeling it might have been kind of a nice day out there. And Mountain Living, is the crossband still? Yes, it is. That is the correct frequency. I have it on right now. My antenna's kind of low, but it might be worth a shot. I could hear... There's a lot of activity earlier. So if you can make it over the hill around the corner, do so. 24, that's Joseph checked in. Let's go down and around the Big Giraffe for SWL 25.
Dennis, 25, checking in.
Hey, you are sounding good, sir. Thanks for jumping onto the Old Tube Radio Network. Over.
Dennis, and if you don't mind checking 74-2, I don't think she's going to make it down here to the shack, so I appreciate it. 30, 40, I don't know how many years you've been doing this, but anyway, thanks for doing what you do. Anyway, back to you, Dennis.
I just checked the clock. I've been doing this for like about 20 minutes right now, so I'm kind of a newbie at this. Your name came up at the I was talking to somebody. Darren, I think, or somebody. We're talking about putting bolts into the cement. I said, you know what? Ever since that guy retired, we can't grab the Hilti whatever it is, devices and put our bolts into the concrete now. But anyway, your name came up last night, and here you are live and direct. Anyway, sounding good, and I'll get 74 checked in.
Thanks, Dennis. And by the way, there's always opportunities for that, so thank you.
All right, good deal. Thanks for checking in. It's 23, saying it was sunny and 68. So it was a pleasant day. It'll be dark in 68. It won't be 68 until 3:30 in the morning here at Net Control. Let's go over to SWL 26. Shortwave listener 27.
27's checked live from Studio G, where I have 88 degrees and a little bit of breeze blowing out here.
It is nice. Now, did I miss you last night at the club meeting, or were you somewhere else?
Yeah, I didn't go last night. I was had another engagement, and but I missed it. I wanted to go to that meteor scatter.
Yeah, it was cool. If Aaron drops by, he'll tell us about it. And they made a couple of contacts. He was remoting in from his base, but his little up and down and hit the ionosphere and bounce off of stuff. It actually worked. So it was a happening thing. Anyway, you're sounding good. Thanks for jumping out into Studio G, or one of those letters, and checking in over.
Roger. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, thank you. The old Tube Radio Network, real radio's glowing in the dark. Blood Nose, you are right. They're saying the jingle singers are warming up in the green room. Can we turn them on now? They're shaking their head. Okay, no jingle singers during the roll call unless I really screw up, and then we have to do something. Titan Killer says, looking good tonight. Radio Canada. Oh, Canada. 128 from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Of course, a 7 and a 3. Well, thanks for joining us here at the Old Tube Radio Network. Good to have you along. Let's see what's happening up the road and what we might expect were we to wander into the green room tonight. Gary's got the scoop. He's got the scuttlebutt. Tonight we're having Miller Super Dogs. I'm not even sure what that is. Am I reading that right? Miller Super Dogs with root beer, chips, salads, and ice cream. Well, that sounds good. I think I can do that. And don't we buy the Primo hot dogs? Everybody's kind of like, nobody's looking. No, we do. I think we buy good stuff here. Whatever the Costco card will get. So don't be ashamed to go grab a hot dog and all the good stuff. Thanks, Gary, as always. Got a proxy check-in for 29. SWL30 is listening. See if there's any conditions. See if we're making any of the SDRs, and we never know. But you've got to check in. SWL31, Robert and Teresa. I'm getting you guys checked in. I will check. I was so busy putting out all the fires, I did not see sort of the pre-net chat roll-up or roll-down, as it were. So anybody I missed, I'll make sure that we get them. Also, speaking about missed, SWL32, Robin, I saw your email. I don't have my email up, but it showed up from the site or whatever that is. So whatever you sent worked, but I hadn't looked at it because I was afraid I would get in and start reading it and I wouldn't get all my stuff done. So I will do that after the net. But I saw the tag, so that seems to work. We were doing meteor scatter right now, or last night. But I don't think that's the way to go from here to Texas. That would be a little iffy. So got you checked in. Likewise, myself, SWL33, Bozo Control, anybody else that happens to jump through the place here. You know, El Toro, that's what I've heard. If you can find them. I don't know why they're supposed to be the best, but I have heard that and tried them, and I don't know. I'm not a hot dog connoisseur, so I couldn't tell you what's best, but they're good. Rosie A.U., good morning or good afternoon to you, coming in from sunny Emu Park in Queensland. Thanks for joining us, as always, on the Old Tube Radio Network here on the West Coast, California, where the sun is going pretty much down, and we have absolutely no skip on the gray line. Hello to Jimmy and gang. Is a railroader, Captain Chaos. Jimmy is responsible for a lot of the Facebook stuff you see that involves Citizen Band, classic radios, railroads, and the like. So thanks for doing that. SWL35, I said hello to, and Mr. Bill was on or checked in from cool Cheyenne. Sounds like everything is hunky-dory over at Red Monkey Communications. Hope the trailer is looking good. Let's go to SWL36. Kenny, SWL 36 or 111 in the United Delta X-ray department. Now, William, where are you going? Is there another door for Lay's dill pickle chips and Gatorade? I will not go down that hallway, but if you know the right spot, if you have the right key, you can get pretty much anything you want. And this is not Alice's Restaurant. All right, I'm making the official check-in there, Ken, for 36. SWL 37.
SWL 37 here. Good evening, Dennis.
All right. Are you having hot dogs tonight?
No, I had tacos.
All right, that sounds better. I'll have to talk to Gary. Do we ever have tacos in the green room? I don't know. They're kind of, if you make them from scratch, they're kind of a lot of work to do everything. But it sounds good.
I love my wife's homemade tacos.
Indeed. Well, go get in line and get some more because you are duly checked in over.
All right, you have a good evening. Thank you.
I mentioned we will be talking with some of the classic tube radios coming up. Some of your favorite manufacturers, perhaps. I don't know. I never know what's going to happen. So we will see. SWL 38. I did see Sam was in a little bit earlier. So if you're still out there, Sammy, I'm putting the X in the square from beautiful Byron. Nobody out there to give you the 2,000-mile return trip 10.5. And 44, somebody broke my squelch earlier, but I don't know if it was you or not. Again, my antenna's low, so if I can get it up in the air, it might work. I also have a beam. I don't have that up either, so I got everything set. So keep working. Keep that frequency. Keep that frequency in mind, because that's what we have, and I'm sure we will be able to get it to work. Let's go to SWL 39. SWL 40.
SWL 40 checking in and checking out.
Okay. I know why you might be checking out, so thanks for checking in. And hopefully you are not checking in somewhere else. Let's go to SWL 41. Of course, Road Dog 507 out there in New York. Doing the thing that they do. I check my meters here. Meter check. We've got, if you're watching the video, up in the corner, that's the output of the transmitter for modulation percentages. Above my head is the output of the radio. Yeah, looks good. Looks like the meter's wiggling. Off to the other side is the audio, average audio of everything going through. It looks like I might be a bit on the weak side, but I'm not going to adjust it just yet. I'm the one doing most of the talking. And then, of course, there's me. You can put your post-it over that. Let's go to SWL 42.
42 and the Radio Lifer crew, all present and accounted for.
Okay, and I think I saw the confirmation of the pictures coming in, so I will check that out. Thank you for that. We'll put the X in the square over.
Over.
SWL 43. 44 was trying, and then trying. So X in the square, Mr. 360 for trying FM, AM, sideband. He was up in the balcony with the flags. He was doing semaphore, probably some smoke signals. Maybe some meteor scatter. I don't know. He had the slingshot. It's trying to get a message in here, but we will put the X in this square. Let me stop for a moment, and since Neil is in, and I see you now, and I won't have to scroll back, and you won't have to repeat yourself when I don't scroll back. Kakalaki, weather's hot and steamy. More on the way. Radio's very quiet. Yeah. This is the first time I have literally been in and on the radio room all week. It's been a busy week, so I think everything was sort of set up from last week. I didn't do any HF at all, so maybe I can fix that next week. Just seems like when it gets hot, there's just a lot to do, and you got to start early, and radio kind of falls down the list. But tonight we're having a good time. What's happening up in Kakalaki? Very quiet, only occasional conditions, but they fade fast. That's exactly what happened tonight. And I know, Dennis, you heard it too, where Minigrass came in for like 5 minutes and then away. But don't fear, we might get something. Anyway, 73 is Dr. Jazz out in the Carolina Sandhills, and thanks for stopping by. SWL 45, Paul and Kelly, if you are listening in, hello radio to you, and there's an X in the square. Let's go to SWL 46. And Foxman, I don't know what that is. The Citizen Band of Brothers Latin version, 1, 2, 3, 4, came out yesterday, and it took 8 hours to make it. So is that what is that? Is that software? Is it something in the 3D computer? Is it, I don't know. Elucidate, as they say. SWL 47.
Well, good evening from the Radio Lounge, SWL 47.
Out in the Radio Lounge, where it's a little bit more pleasant tonight than days past, but you are looking and sounding good over.
Thank you. I will argue with you on that one, though. It's not quite so pleasant in the Radio Lounge. I just got done arguing that a grandparent really appreciated Red Fox. And I was saying, no. It was Red Fox. It was Red Fox. I remember sitting in this grandparent's house listening to Red Fox cassette tapes. And then I realized, Jesus, it wasn't Red Fox. It was Red Skeleton. There's a little bit of a difference there. And may I just restate that the grandparent liked Red Skeleton, not Red Fox. The power of just one misinterpreted word, yikes.
All right. Well, they were both around the same time, and they are like, Red Fox is on this side of the spectrum for comedy, and Red Skelton, Skelton, is on this side. And never the twain shall meet. Now, I can't do a Red Fox imitation. I didn't watch Sanford and Son, but there's something about... was it Elizabeth? That's about all I know for that one. But Red Skelton, you can do the Two Seagulls, Gertrude and Heathcliff, and then you can do the Mean Little Kid. If I do it, I get a whipping. So that is Red Skelton. Over.
I'm absolutely shocked, sir, that you actually do a immaculate Red Skelton. That's brilliant. My hat's off to you. And I'm sorry, I can't sign off without saying, just for the record, please, it was not, Laverne did not like Red, or I don't know, maybe she did, but she kept it a secret. It was Red Fox from the grandparents of the Radio Lounge. Anyways, bravo, sir. You should have been on the Carson show. Good interpretation there. Anyways, 73. Thank you.
And I remember, just a quick story, my early college radio days when they had the radio or the record library. You go back and there's shelves full of LPs, and they had a Red Fox. I remember it's REDDFOXX, and I was looking, I want to do some comedy. And I pulled down a Red Fox. I said, that should be good. And it had this big warning label on it. It says, do not play on the air. But I would assume that any of the Red Skelton, if were there to be records, were fine to play on the air. Thanks for checking in, and back to the Radio Lounge. SWL 48. That's Sammy, Mr. KP. I'll get a check-in for him. He's out there somewhere in the big Madera town. Also, shortwave listener 49, or listeners. Of course, that's Smitty and Sweet Country Mama. We'll get them proxied in. And before he scrolls off my screen, I really thought I saw, yes, the Sultan of Seneca joining us live. The guy whose middle name is Voodoo, ESSB, right here. From beautiful, Lake Almanor. Also George in Granada Hills. Andy up there near Corvallis. They're on 40 meters right now doing some ESSB. So if you got an antenna and can pick up the West Coast on 40 meters, I don't know. Is the band shut down like it is here? Look for the 5K signals. I don't know what frequency you guys are on, and listen to some really nice audio from the big sound of ESSB. Anyway, Mark and the gang, thanks for checking in. And as I mentioned, I have just not been sitting in the air chair. Been a lot of stuff going on. So hopefully I can remedy that. But thanks for stopping by, as we say. Continuing on, or I will never get to the radios. SWL 50. in Battle Creek. And right there, I'm looking. Oh, okay, yeah, he's in the air chair. I was looking for your number, it didn't show up. He's in the cornfield. And a happy birthday to Dirt Dog. All right, put the 50 in there. And who said that? It was Red Skelton. The Pledge of Allegiance. I've seen that. I don't remember seeing it live, but I've seen the video of Mr. Skelton doing the Pledge of Allegiance. So 50's got the X. Let's go down to, where are we going? Sangertown, once again, SWL 51. SWL 51.
I heard him.
Oh, all of a sudden my OBS disconnected and reconnected. That's the noise you hear, is me connecting and disconnecting. That's what was going on earlier. I hope this isn't going to happen now. I thought I got all that taken care of. Let's go to SWL 52. Just a note, SWL 52, Aaron gave a great presentation last night at the Fresno Amateur Radio Club, FARC, on meteor scatter. He did some remote link-ups to his base station, and indeed he was actually to bump up into the ionosphere and lighten the things up. And we got, I don't know, at least before I left, I think there was 5 or 6 contacts he had logged using the protocol that I won't even say it because I'll say it wrong, but if he comes in, he'll give us the synopsis of ham radio meteor scatter. Yes, you can do it too. You only need to be a technician to do that. SWL 53, Mr. Belair.
53 on the outskirts of Fresno, checking in there.
I've seen that. You will tease the neighborhood. Bob will go outside, of his palatial estate, and he'll do that one toe over the line thing, and he'll jump over and say, "Now I'm in Clovis," and then he'll jump back and he'll say, "Now I'm in Fresno." But he's a funny guy. Thanks, Bob.
Welcome there, Dennis. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
I don't do things like that, but if I could, I would. Let's go to page 3. SWL 54 has got a proxy check-in for Mr. Barjammer, way up the hill to SWL 55.
5 checking in.
5 checking in. A beautiful day it was once again. We've got the X in the square. Did I mention that you don't have to be on any list? Stop by, leave us your name and number, say, hey, we're checking in. This list goes back from 40 years, so it's just like something we do. But we'll say hi to anybody. It's not a club. There's no membership thing. There's no dues, no secret handshake. You don't have to knock on the door and say, can I come in? Just like, who is that? Who's that? In Madera, Broughton, Illinois. Just come in up on the balcony, say hi, jump into the green room, the old Tube Radio Network, and then stand by for some tube radios. This guy has a lot. This guy coming up next, SWL 56. Hello, Phil, over. That's always happens when you give somebody an intro. They get caught up in the curtain coming out. I got a proxy in for Phil. Let's go to SWL 57 out in central Kentucky. Woo, woo, woo. Celebrity alert. Ham Radio Lady is in the chat room. Say hello to Ham Radio Lady. And what's going on in SoCal? Meteor scatter. We did some up here last night at the Fresno Amateur Radio Club. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Let's go to SWL 57. I'm looking around. There are so many things that grab my attention around here. SWL 58.
He's at Pismo right now.
Oh, see, I was at the club meeting last night. Did he stop by Fresno yet?
He got here Wednesday and left yesterday morning for Pismo.
Oh man, he just couldn't hack it. Well, he's in a good spot. I think I got the weather reports like 68 or something, but he knows what he's in for.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll get him checked in. And let's see. Did Brown Dog Audio come by? There's 78. You put the needle on too early. 78, 78, 78, 78, and have to tap there. Put a penny. That's what we used to do. Put a penny on that Rusco turntable from Wild Warm Wildemar. I'll get you checked in now in case you have to stomp out of the radio room. SWL 59. He's waiting. He's waiting for me to call that number. There he is. There's the check. SWL 59. Uncle Hairball, thank you for stopping by the Saturday night place to be. One of them anyway. Well, you know what those are called? They were called the flat plastic page that you could play on a record player. It was called, and look it up, Evitone. Well, there may have been different names, but it was called an Evitone sound sheet, an Evitone sound sheet. And yeah, they were either cardboard or paper. They'd etched the recording on there, and they were on sides of cereal boxes. National Geographic put out a whole bunch with bird calls that were in clear plastic things. There was Chicken Delight in Southern California. The top of the chicken bucket, if you took the top off and punched it out, there was a record. It was called, look it up, I kid you not, it was called Ring-a-Ding. And that was an Evitone sound sheet, just like you were talking about, that had music on it back in the 60s. When we all had a little record player somewhere, because that's what we did. Let's go to, I'm never going to get to the radios tonight. Let's go to SWL 60. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Dennis. Evening time to everybody. Hello, everyone, I should say. SWL 60, checking in.
You are sounding good. You've been practicing, huh? You've got it dialed in, over.
No, in fact, you caught me daydreaming.
All right, well, that's daydreaming at night is a good thing. All right, well, anyway, X in the square, and you're looking at sounding good. SWL 61, Dino checked in earlier. Let's go to SWL 62. Squirrel Chronicle, where are you? We left some acorns out in the yard so that you would come by tonight. Is that what I'm smelling? Richard's making 50 burgers for the green room tonight. Well, that'll go with the hot dogs. I believe. No, okay. Now I'm getting. I turn off all the notifications, and now I get notifications. We got hot dogs and hamburgers going on tonight. I want to say hello to from the. You know, the great programs we were talking about, Red Skelton and Red Fox and, Ed Sullivan and whatever. One of our great shows, one right here on this network, the old Tube Radio Network, was the Bob and Steve Show. And Steve Areno is right here tonight saying hello. Let me see if I've got... No, that's not... There it is. I wanted to get a shot of the big red limo that... has been around the college campus, the Fresno State and Fresno City College. Started this week. I can't believe it used to start in late September. Now the classes start in early August. But they've been driving around the campuses promoting students to get in and get her done and getting people in and out of the classroom. So that's what's going on with the Big Red Limo tonight. Getting the college kids in and out safely. I don't know. Are they already doing party nights? It's a little early for that, but you never know. Anyway, thanks, Steve, for jumping in and say, sounding great in Ohio. Where are we going? Down the list. SWL 62 we called. SWL 63. Got to get back to the right chart. SWL 64. 64 checked in earlier, so I will get an X for Craig in Wisconsin. SWL 65. SWL 66. SWL 67, Bill checked in moments ago up there in Canby, Oregon.
Station.
The station, go ahead, over.
Time, Dennis, 188 Snow Beast Mobile, early check-in, please.
All right, the Snow Beast Mobile, putting the hurt on the Central Valley up and down. We have no skip tonight. I don't know what happened. The switch is, not only is it off, but it's broken. So drive safely, and you're sounding good. Thanks for checking in.
Appreciate it. Evening time gone.
Now that is one bodacious mobile. The mini grass guys have to stay up late to compete with that. Let's go to SWL 68. Let's go to 69. Kenny was checking in from Tulsa. Said hello to everybody around here in these here parts where he used to hang out. SWL 70. And they've rolled out the red carpet for this guy. Haven't been back in a while, but he's a busy guy. So it's always nice when he's able to knock on the door and say, hello, Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 71, Stan, hello to you out in somewhere near Dallas, Georgia. Good to have you on board this evening. Hope all is going well. And let's see, how many other stations have you been able to get on the airwaves, doing all the things you do? Anyway, thanks, and looking good on the chat here tonight. Yeah, things change with the old server, so however you can get in, still go to oldtuberadio.net, and we're supposed to be able to link up there as well, so maybe that's what you're doing, but that's what we hoped anyway. SWL 72. And they're saying there's no reason to shout. The microphone is right here. SWL 73. Yeah, I'm gonna get John 73 checked in. I sat next to him last night at the Fresno Amateur Radio Club. We've got a proxy for SWL 74 over to SWL 75. Let's go to SWL 76. And no, I put an X. Somebody said, "Did you get Stan checked?" And I said, "I most certainly did." Let's go to SWL 77.
Good evening, Dennis, and all the listeners. 077 Trainwreck 1017. Checking in on the 1947 Art Deco aesthetic high Z element, and man, what a beautiful thing to look at.
It are a beautiful thing, and it's a beautiful sounding thing as well. Over.
Well, good deal. We had to do a little surgery on it, but it turned out good, and I think this one's going to stay right here on the desk with me.
It is, like I said, it's a very nice sounding. It's not 2.2. It's very like you. So keep it there and get those little plug adapters to make it sure if we can go into all the radios.
There you go. All righty, Dennis, I appreciate it, and thanks for everything you do.
All right, when I can do it. What is the deal over here? Oh, I'm sorry. They're pointing the fact that I forgot somebody. SWL 76. Did I do that? That of course is Johnson, Rhode Island. Red Fox 1. Just backtrack a little bit, make sure we didn't miss you here. And that's some good info. There's some wacky weather going on between hurricanes in Hawaii, and there was somebody saying there's flooding or lots of rain in places, and that's why JT was on the portable tonight for lightning and things like that. So it might be keeping people who would otherwise be sitting in the radio room hunkered down in other places listening in. Okay, 76, 77. In the SWL 78, we got in Wild Wildemar. Let's go to SWL 79. I'll get Mr. DC in. I bet he was in earlier, and I wasn't around. I was probably caught up in trying to fix all this stuff. Let's go to SWL 80. Page 4, SWL 81, and I'm going to get Scott checked in. If you have gotten the Universal Media Net web up, hello. Here we are at oldtuberadio.net. Otherwise, we've got the X in the proverbial square. Oh, hey, there it is. All right, good. It looks like you made the connection. What is that, like Tinkerbell? Dorothy, you click your heels together and say there's no place like OTR, and all of a sudden the wizard takes you there. Thank you for checking in. The T-Mobile phone won't. Well, AT&T, okay. I hear bad things about AT&T, so I won't say anything bad about them if it gets the program on your phone. Thanks, Scott. Let's go to SWL 82.
Hey, good evening. 82 checking in from the ditch banks of Biola, and maybe the boys from Squamish will come in. About 9:30 last night, they come rolling in, so listen up for 428. So anyway, pretty light night last night, but here we are checking in tonight.
Well, I know they're listening. I'm guessing it probably was a very short hop in. I was out at the Fresno Amateur Radio Club, so hopefully I got proxied in. Good deal. The voice you just heard, Ron, is the purveyor of the Ditch Banks Sideband Net, the Central Valley Sea Beers, and all around here. So join us if you can at 27365 Lower Sideband Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I guess we're still doing it. Pacific Daylight Time. And there's a spot for visitors and people to check in and DX and all sorts of stuff. So you will have, as we say in radio, Foxtrot Uniform November. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, Dennis.
Next, we have SWL 83. Out of Sylvania, Ohio, JC. I saw you in there earlier, and probably have a question to answer for you. So when I get a chance, I will comment on that. But the X is in the square, and hopefully there will be some good conditions going on. Okay, you always come up sort of a different header, but thanks for putting the 83 in there, because I'm thinking, do I know that person? I guess I do. We put the X in the square. Let's do the double play times 2 for SWL 84, 86, 87, and 88. To respectively, that would be the Cheerios Kid Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. And then a check-in for, and I don't know if he's here, there, or anywhere, SWL 89.
Hey, Dennis, SWL 89, checking in from Clovis.
Oh, you sound excellent. Your antenna's working well, and can you hear me over?
You're coming in nice and clear. I'm just standing in the next room to you.
All right, that's good. Well, you've got everything connected, and the bolts are driven in the right spot, and the coax. You know, I always have the trouble. I have the coax, and I never know which end goes the radio and which end goes the antenna, and I invariably hook it up backwards. But obviously, you have yours correct.
Well, it was those power cookies that we had last night.
It was something like that. Were we to get some meteor scatter tonight? I don't know. Maybe that's why I can hear you. Anyway, you were sounding good, and the X is in the square. And you might remember that we are also live, simulcasting at oldtuberadio.net, where you can click in and listen to the audio and watch a video and do all sorts of cool stuff. And give yourself a radio check on the replay. Anyway, thanks for stopping by.
Roger. Thanks for doing the net.
All right, big X for Darren there, 89. Let's go to SWL 90. SWL 91. All the way from the Bronx, I'll get a check-in for Mr. Felix, 91. SWL 92. From Clovistown, SWL 93. Got a note? Okay, proxy for Mr. STD. I will do that. And the Word Hog, SWL 95. And Headphone Harvey. Well, it's not late. If you see the video running and the tube is lit up, it is not late. That's what, see, you need Headphone Harvey. You have to get that extension, that quarter-mile extension on the headphones. So when you're not close to radio, you can kind of run in and say, I'm here. And get the, don't get the coiled one, get just the uncoiled one, because I've done that before. You kind of stretch it out, and you almost get to the radio, and then it pulls you back, and then you have to do it all over again. So Headphone Harvey, thanks for joining us. The Old Tube Radio Network. Real radios will be glowing in the dark. Let's go to SWL 96. We got Echo Link coming up. Got a couple of stations. So don't go away from the Echo Link. Let's see what's happening in Boston. SWL 97. James. Must be some wacky weather. Oh, and I don't have this queued up. SWL 98. It's Tracy. Let me see if I can find the video. And it's not showing up. So I will. Hold on a second. I got my promo, and when I reset everything, it unpromoted itself. Sometimes the simplest things are not simple to do. Okay, I think we have it here. So SWL. Oops, maybe we don't. Could this be any more confusing? SWL. There it is. SWL 98, and away we go.
Yeah, Saturday night's here. 8 p.m., you know what time it is. Turning that dial to 27085. Watching those old tubes glow in the dark. Get that sweet, warm audio right from the start. That's Dennis with his witty remarks. Bringing that crisp sound right into your heart. Oh, it's the tubes on the air. Yeah, the tubes on the air. Don't you dare miss that show.
Good evening, Dennis and the group. This is SWL 98 checking in and wishing everyone a great night. 7-3.
There it is. I mean, live, and that wasn't live, but it was direct. And I think that's our special copyrighted music there for the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks, Tracy and the crew at the AI Studios. Over to SWL 99. And the next thing we're going to do, if we ever do it, like they used to say, is we'll try the Echo Link and see what's going on. KD4BAO from KB6GFD. Hello, Tony. See what Tony's up to in Clevelandville, South Carolina. Tubes on the air. Waiting for the delay or the relay to come up. Here we go.
Good evening, Dennis. Good to hear you. Please check in SWL 100 and back to net control, KD4BAO.
Okay, well, we'll get you checked in. Before you go, Tony, what's you guys got any wacky weather, flooding, too much sun, too much weather? How's the weather out there in South Carolina? Over.
A lot of showers in the afternoon, Dennis. Some scattered showers in the afternoons, mostly for this time of year.
All right, the usual stuff, nothing too wacky. Good deal. Anyway, thanks for checking in. I know you're going to run out and get those tubes ready to go. We should have a couple radios checking in, and thanks for joining us. 73 from KB6GFD. All right, let's try number 2 on the Echo Link. See what Albert is doing. Hello, radio. KI6CBA from KB6GFD. Over. Wait for a bit of the digital delay and.
CBA calling Dennis at KB6GFD. Hello, radio. Hey, we're looking forward to radios tonight, and I just like them all. I don't really have any questions up front. I also look forward to the questions, so don't leave out the questions tonight.
And we have a question tonight. I haven't even looked at it, so I know it's in the email, so thanks for the reminder, and I'll bring that up. That's probably got closed, but I'll bring it up if I can find that. You are sounding good as always. Thanks for the update. Thanks for checking in, and we will catch you next time on the Old Tube Radio Network, KB6GFD 73. Night from Sparks, Reno.
KI6CBA 73. Good night.
Next, we're heading to Arkansas for 102. 102. What's going on tonight, John? Just checking in, and hello, everyone. Well, that is a good thing. Hello, right back. South Carolina. Once again. Listen for Joey. Tango Romeo 21 X-ray. I always say that, but see if 103 is in. And I'm pretty sure we do have questions. Yes, we do. So I'll have them prepped up. Continuing on, roll call, SWL 109 up in Albury. Now there's static. That static's coming back. Usually that's a portent of wackiness to show up. Somebody said, proxy for Crawdad. We'll do that. SWL 110. Shortwave listener 111, if you were at the top of the net here, you heard normally from Reedleytown, but from up at the park down the road here a bit. Bob was mobile and sounding good, 111, out visiting Fresno from Reedleytown. So thanks for checking in, Bob. Over to SWL 113. SWL 114.
114, checking in.
Hello, Wayne, 114. Got the X in the square, and you were sounding good. Thanks for stopping by the Old Tube Radio Network.
10-4, thank you for the check-in, Dennis.
And the burgers are done in the green room. Build your own. That's the way I like. I don't like anything on it, so just throw me a meat in a bun, and I'll be good. You got some tomatoes and lettuce, I'll take that too. Maybe some cheese. Let's see. Wayne is in. That takes us to John, Fairfax, Virginia. Checked in a little bit earlier. If you're out there, John, say hello, radio once again. But we've got the X in the square. Hope you're doing well tonight. Not too much commotion around the QTH. Coming up to SWL 131. SWL 135. And I got a proxy for Clef. I thought he might jump in on the crossband. SWL 137. Tony, they're still doing the Friday night net. I just can't get on that 2-meter net. It's just wrong time for me, but I'll pop in and surprise him. So Tony up in Coruscant, 145. X in the square. We talked to Neil out there in Kakalaki, where things are a little humid and the band is slow. Got you checked in. Also heard from the bodacious 188 mobile. of Mr. Snow Beast. Got him checked in. Going up the hill. I don't know if I got this guy yet or not. SWL 195 over. All right, sounding good. Good for nothing. Anyway, likewise, you're sounding good as well. I've got the X in the square. Enjoy the summertime, because it doesn't last all the time, but you are checked in. All right, Jim up in Course Gold. Out to Madeira, and he probably checked in. Probably got an email of that kind of stuff. 223. They say, oh, we're showing 203. No, cancel that. It should be, let's add another 20 to that. SWL 223. And then 226. My mouse is going wacky here. Mr. Shockwave. Anybody I missed or anybody just listening in somewhere would like to say hello radio to the Old Tube Radio Network. We are listening. All right, and quickie, doing what I hate to do. You know, we would call it back in the radio station, we would call this a rip and read, meaning that you do not look over your copy and prep it. So here come the mistakes, and thank you, Tony, for the questions coming up. First of all, we haven't had one of these in a while. It's a true or false, and it is. It's dealing with amateur radio, but it's two-way. An amateur radio station is always required to transmit identification every 10 minutes and at the end of transmissions. So it's true or false. An amateur radio station is always, and notice that always is capitalized here. I don't know, you can't see that, but that could be a clue. Is always required to transmit identification every 10 minutes and at the end of transmissions.
I'll go true.
Yeah, I would go true as well, but I'm thrown by the visual of always. But that's the rule. Every 10 minutes in broadcast radio, it is, and television, it's the top of the hour, and you have to give at least the station call and the city of license, which you do not have to do on any type of amateur radio. You just give your call. You don't have to say, this is blah, 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 Fresno. But in TV, it's at the top or within 5 minutes of the top of the hour. Even if you have a long program, you'll hear them blop in. So I would say true. We got a 222. There's a false. Okay, here's the scoop. The answer is false. The rules permit no transmitted identification when an amateur station is operating as a telecommand for RC craft. I have no idea what that is. As a telecommand for RC craft. So is it some digital mode that you're operating something, and if you were to put an ID in somehow, it would mess up? Because you'll hear that. You'll hear the guys on slow scan TV, blah, 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 and then you hear the ID coming on after the transmission. But typically, you should sign, when you sign out of your transmission, you're going to give your call. And at 10 minutes as you're part of a conversation. So I'm kind of thrown on that one. I'm going to have to look at what is a telecommand RC craft. Is a boat. Okay, boat, radio control. So I'm trying to think. We were on a couple of boats when we were up in Alaska, and they had, but it was a marine radio. That's not, this says an amateur radio station. So interesting. Anyway, people said true. You're correct. It's true. But when we put the capitalized uppercase always in there, then there's a little bit of trickery. It's that trick question. Come back after class and we'll throw it out. Okay, here's question number 2. And this is just, I guess you have to know it. Okay, what was, take 3. Question 2. What was the Q multiplier used for? Well, I kind of know what it's used for. I don't know if I can explain it. In fact, you can buy them. You can buy a separate... Heathkit used to make one. You would add it into your Hallicrafters. I had a Hallicrafters SX99 with a Q multiplier. I think they're, if you're CW up, they're actually probably more beneficial than that. And now the newer radios have all sorts of roofing filters and digital noise stuff. So back in the day, of super gen receivers or super heterodyne, that Q multiplier, when you added it your receiver, what were you trying to do? Yeah, and narrowing the bandwidth, yes. A Q multiplier is a circuit added to a radio receiver to improve selectivity and sensitivity. So yeah, you're kind of like focusing into that frequency or that thing you want or that frequency. So it's a nice little tool to have. You have an older receiver. A Q multiplier is a good thing. And why they had, you could probably put one on your 11-meter radio and help things out, I guess. AM, I think they're probably a little bit better for narrowing CW. All right, enough of me. We'll be back in moments, and when we do, it's that time for the old tube radio to shine, or maybe it's glow, as we will talk to our tube radio operators, find out what is going on. You are listening to the old tube radio network. Back in a bit. Indeed, you might be listening to the old tube radio network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The old tube radio network.
The jingle. Mr. Announcer and the jingle singers are excited tonight. We're hitting that 140 modulation because we're not distorting anything. I like the old tube radio network. I just learned something. I didn't know about that ID thing. And Tim says that there are special rules for RC and controlling satellites. I'm not a satellite op. We need Aaron out here, who is, and probably special ways to do that to make sure that you get the ID where it's supposed to be. All right. Speaking of ID, it is time for us to identify the tube radio operators and their respective radios. So we will be standing by. We have a list waiting for you. Over. 14. Kind of diving in. Pinging your way into Midtown Fresno and sounding good doing it. Back to you. Over.
This is the Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV, and I have a amplified Silver Eagle desk microphone on it this evening.
Silver Eagle microphone. They came with not the if I can get the picture here, not the standard one I remember seeing when they went to Mark IV. It had some. It's good. It has not a lot of low frequency, but it's nice and punchy audio, and it is very quiet tonight. I thought we had. Oh, you know what? I've got an advertisement. Let me bring that up because it shows the other microphonium. Let's go to. It should say full page advertisement. There we go. And so you are D104ing it tonight. Over.
Yeah, that's for sure. This is the way I got the radio. The old guy gave it to me like this. He said, boy, when you key this one up, everyone will know exactly who it is. And it's a neat radio. It took me a long time to figure out how to turn it on and get it working. But once Harvey doctored it up for me, it's been working flawlessly ever since.
And as we say, as seen, as heard on the old Tube Radio Network, there's a stack of radios right there. I think back in the day would run you well over $700, maybe $800, and they changed. At least they changed the outside quite a bit. They updated with the 40 channels and the display, but you still have your separate meters for the transmit and the receiver. You got your front fire speaker. How is the audio on that? Does it compare to, I don't know if you got a Mark III or a Mark II, what other Brownings you might have, but does the receiver hold up?
Yeah, it's a quiet one. You know, some Brownings are real loud receivers, others are quiet. This is a quiet one. The tone is nice on it. My favorite thing about it is the emblem is really crisp, like they had freshened up the mold when they did this run of Mark IVs. Really good looking eagle right there on the speaker. But yeah, the receive is nice. You know, it has a great Browning receive, but it is a quiet one. It's not a real screamer where I can hear it at the back of the house.
Yeah, well, they're saying they're hearing you at the back of the house here at OTR tonight because it always sounds good. Let me take a pause for a moment. Somebody popped up on the screen here, and I want to mention Scarecrow is listening in. Good morning or good afternoon to you from New Zealand. And Scarecrow, mark this down. One of our California, New Zealand stations transplants here does a very cool simulcast for the ESSB guys on amateur radio, and his call is N6MUD. So if you do a search for November 6 Mike Uniform Delta N6MUD, and look for his live streaming or subscribe to it, and when the button comes up, you'll be able to hear some ESSB audio. And Craig does a good job, and he sort of promised that he's going to be heading back to New Zealand at some time, but he's here in the on the West Coast for a while, but he does a great streaming program. So anybody who's trying to get an idea of what amateur radio sounds like or the ESSB stuff, check out N6MUD on the live stream. Speaking of live streams, right here, channel 1127-085, and our live stream listening to Sean in Sanger in his radio room, giving us what it sounded like. And this radio came out, I'm going to say 1976, 1977, probably 77, 78. It cost $900. It was the last of the line basically for Browning, but built like a tank and still working. Over to you for a transmission.
Yeah, one of the last ones built there at the Browning factory. And I do have the beautiful brochure for this radio. Harvey gave it to me as a gift when I got into the tube radios, and the brochure is absolutely just beautiful. A guy could, frame it, display his favorite page in there. But yeah, great radio, and it's what started it all for me. I just love this radio, and it will never go anywhere.
One, because it's too hard to carry, and two, because I think you have it you have it locked down. You have it strapped. You've got it zip tied to the radio room there. Doing a good job. Let's now you on the Mark IIIs, they actually have on the transmitter a way that you can adjust the frequency. And I think they usually secretly put plus or minus 700 to make the FCC happy. Does it have those controls? Because it does do sideband, and that's what it's for. But do you have the frequency shift controls on the transmitter?
Negative. I've got the Mark III right underneath it, and you're right, it goes to 700 cycles. And no, what I have is the scan rate, which increases how fast it flies up and down through the 40 channels. Which I think is kind of ridiculous, because when you put it on full blast, it's kind of like playing a slot machine. You never know where it's going to land when you let off.
Like those weird speedometers they have. They would change colors as you drive faster. It does something. They had to put some gimmick in there. Just did the zero beat. You are pretty much right on frequency with that. Maybe 50 cycles low if I go to the sideband. So it all is well and all is working. The Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV. I'm looking to see if we have anything listed at oldtuberadio.com saying, we got a brochure. Well, we have a picture of the brochure, but we don't have the actual, like a download or anything. But it sounds good. Doing a good job. Yeah, this was 900. Anybody got the chart? What is in 1977, $900 in 1977? What would that radio be costing today if you could walk into the Browning Laboratories and say, I want to buy that thing. Anyway, back to you for a transmission. And thanks for I guess, like the last great Browning to come off the charts.
Yeah, that's for sure. The last of the greats. And that is neat how you always say what they cost. That is staggering when you think about that. Especially the times we're going, the prices of fuel and everything else. So anyhow, thank you for the time for the Mark IV tonight.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm just, I've got static tonight, but there just isn't anything. Any heterodynes, possibilities that somebody might be in. I was listening to see if these kind of conditions for Twain Hart coming in tonight. We get a little bit of, skip coming down that way. Well, you know what we can hear? What we do hear, and it's never a problem, and that, of course, are the exclusive OTR jingle singers.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
Well, we did have a little music tonight. The latest news, I don't know. We're going to have to go to our roving reporter and find out what's going on. The Old Tube Radio Network, we're listening for your radio check-ins. Over. And Catalyst, thank you. It says, going by consumer pricing, or the consumer pricing index, your $895 Browning Mark IV radio, sitting on the shelf in 1977, is probably $4,900 in today's cash, as it were. Now, when you think of it, and that was the top-of-the-line radio, were you to go into, and I don't know if I'm comparing apples to oranges here, or amateur radios to CB radios, but there's still two ways. If you were to go into your AES, your ham radio outlet, your wherever, your gigaparts, you could easily find a $4,900 two-way radio transceiver. So I don't know. Maybe it's the way it is. 60. Hello. Let's go back to the control room here. I am here. We'll clear the screen, and mainly because we have another radio coming in. What's going on, Joe? Over.
Doggone, I'd like to check in my Robin 123B. This particular radio is for sale. This is another 123B that I picked up, have no use for. But if it comes down to it, I will keep it if no one's interested in it. 11 tubes, Dennis, all 23 channels, receive and transmit, and we'll take it to that point. We're not, or if you can hear me okay.
I hear you just fine. Got a picture of a Robin T123, but it's not your radio, not the one for sale, but if somebody wants to see what that means, what Robin did, the classic Panasonic 2 chassis, which I believe is plate modulated, and Robin got the little magic wand that said, yeah, pull all the stops out, give us external speaker PA and all the lights and the fine tune and the RF gain. I think there's a tone control, but it sounds good. Take another transmission over.
Far so good, I guess. You hear me okay? Right now the external speaker is on. I have it hooked up. The speaker itself is a little bit not quite as clear. So I have an external speaker on it, and the external light is on. Bright. And I think it's I guess that's amber. Anyway, I think all the receive channels are there. I'm not quite sure. I haven't gone that far to checking it. Everything else seems to be looking all right, working good. Meter's well lit, and we'll let you take it from there. I'm on a D104 amplified mic.
Audio sounds good. D104 amplified mic, external speaker. I see the, let me go to the extreme close-up. I see the external speaker in the front. So that is a switch, or do you actually plug the speaker into that front part?
It's in the back. It's in the back. It's a large jack. So, and I'm using a Kenwood 120 speaker for the radio. And that's plugged into the back. Now, the button to the external speaker, that stays in as long as you're using the external speaker. When you're done with it, you push the button, it pops back out again. But other than that, the modulation lights working. All the lights seem to be on, and I think the PA light also works on the radio.
Okay, got it. And when I went to the extreme, yeah, you can see the PA switches out, external speaker, pop it in, speakers on, and push it out. It is ready to go. Good stuff. And so that radio there, does it come with a microphonium over?
It could, all depending. If it, right now we're not quite sure. But if it does come with one, it'll be the one I'm talking on now.
All right, well, it's perfectly fine. Also, and the reason I asked is because, let's go back to the item here. It does have the range expand switch. So even if you had a standard microphonium, the radio itself has an amplification on the audio. So your standard microphonium could use the range expand and not have an issue that way. All right, very good. It's sounding good, and this will have all 23 channels. I know your other one has some modification switches. I'm assuming this one is stock over.
This one is stock. No modifications have been done to it. Now, as far as the channels, the 23 channels, I will check them and make sure that they're okay. I've got a little outfit there to check the channels and make sure that what channels are there, and if not, I'll list the ones that are missing, the crystals. But other than that, this one here, if someone is interested in this radio here, they can contact me, get a hold of me. You can go through Harvey.
All right, good deal. It's sounds perfectly fine. All right, let's put it to the test. Obviously, you sound good. Let's see where the crystal is. So take another transmission.
Hello, testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow, right on frequency. Maybe 30 cycles, 27085. I didn't have to touch the dial at all. I could go to the upper lower sideband and hear you just fine. So from the mid-1970s, crystals or whatever it's in there, still working perfectly. So not a bad deal. The Robin T123 Bravo, Panasonic chassis, made from 1972 to 1976. Got 11 tubes and 2 transistors. If you want to find out more, I mean, if somebody's interested, if you go to oldtuberadio.com and search for the Robin T123B, there is an operator's manual in PDF, and there's a schematic in PDF. The Robin T123B is a 23-channel CB transceiver produced during the early 1970s at a crystal-controlled AM radio designed for reliable communications during the early expansion of the CB service in the United States. The unit supports both base and mobile through wiring-based power configuration. So there is, now you may not have it, but it's probably available. There's another cord, so you can run that on 12 volts if you wanted to.
Yeah, right now she's got the cord for AC.
All right, but it does. You got to have the right connector, but it will run 12 volt DC. It is set up for that. Thanks for radio number 2, the Robin T123 Bravo. There ain't a thing wrong with it. Sounds good. It's right on frequency, and it could be, is, maybe for sale. So thanks.
Joe?
Yes, sir.
There's somebody interested in it, gave me a text. Give me a phone call.
I will. Thank you.
Good stuff. The Jingle Singers. Their favorite spot to be is right here on Saturday evening.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you. And
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
Indeed, this is OTR. My name is Dennis. Net controller for tonight, anyway, here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Hello to who joined us. They're pointing to the screen. They say hello to, is it Elliot? No, Elois from southwestern Michigan is waving. America, Zanzibar, and Nineland. That radio station is on the air tonight. Hello to you. Steve Edward. Oh, Steve Edward. What radio am I talking on? I have to, am I allowed to say? They're shaking. They say, no, you're not allowed to say that. All right, well, it's a big radio. And that's the radio you're listening. The reason the radio I'm using, let me go back to where are we at here? Control. The radio that I'm using, the reason I'm using it because it has a receiver that melds into all the garbage here, so that you, the listening audience, can hear the stations coming in a great fashion. It's got like direct out and all sorts of receiver things I can do. So that's more why I'm doing that. It's to make the incoming station sound good. Because I'm sure I could pull out a much better AM transmitter if I wanted to. But got to make the stations sound good. Speaking of stations, we are listening for your radio check-ins. Over. Hello, radio, beaconing into Midtown. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it sounded like some dead air. It didn't sound like I was going to step on anybody, so I figured I'd let the old Buddy jump on in there. I've got the Buddy Bass RC11B and Buddy TX11B, and I'm on the Turner Plus 3 microphone.
Wow, I don't know if you've noticed, but JT, now that he's got the Buddy Bass, which I think might have come from the Central Valley, he hasn't swapped that radio out in about 3 or 4 weeks. So you know when JT is doing that, he's in love with the radio, and it is indeed the Buddy Bass. I must say you have yours in the midnight mode. What does he mean by that? It's not hitting the 140% positive peaks. It's loafing along. It sounds good. Not splattering. I mean, you could bring it way up. So, do you have the infamous TX11B RC 11B over?
That's correct. It's the same one JT is talking on, and I can confirm the honeymoon never wears off. I love this radio. It's a real favorite of mine, and I really appreciate Phil giving me the opportunity to own this unit. Very nice radio. Harvey souped it up for me. He put a red light in my transmitter meter, so that's really cool. And he put a green light in my receive. And then, of course, I love the giant on-the-air light illuminated right now as we speak on the big speaker, which it sounds great. I dig the radio. You know, a lot of people, I guess, complain about the receive, but when I pull it out, I'm not hearing anybody on 12 or channel 10. So it's great for what I do with it. I really like this radio.
You know, I used to hear the same things from the guys, especially the guys that had the Brownings, would say it might not be the same, but now we're talking 40 years ago, so maybe when the channels are really busy, the adjacent channel rejection might not be as good. But when you listen to old Radio Night, there is, I agree with you, there's nothing wrong with the sound. Of course, what we're hearing out of the receive, and he never seems to be, you know, putting his fist on the receiver, banging on it, so it works well. Transmitter and receiver like the Browning, like the Demco, but they pull the speaker out in a separate box, which I actually think if you got the space and don't mind pulling up wires, it's not a bad thing to do. You can get a nice big speaker, although, you know, Browning built it in and made the receiver huge. But it takes it out of the box, and you can put it wherever you want. Does the on-the-air light actually work? So, I guess it works. So when you key, it illuminates over?
Roger. It definitely works. Everything on the radio works. The only thing is the receive knob for tuning is finicky. If you get down there around 4 or 5 and it starts to feel sticky, one might wait a little bit to go back to move it. Sometimes it'll just sit there and spin its wheels and not do anything, but it always comes right back to 11. And of course I have the crystal controlled receive, which I prefer. It works very well. You just have to crank the RF gain up quite a bit if you're going crystal receive.
All right, got you there. And when Harvey comes on, I'll have to ask him, unless you know if it's the receiver is actually on some type of a dial cord. And that's a good way to do it. Yeah, don't turn it fast. Just give it time to grip on there, or exactly how they're gearing the receive dial. But I think you can spot your transmit to receive. So even if it's not pointing exactly at 11 for the old 2 Radio Network, it will be there. And the Buddy, the Buddy Bing. So you're on the D104. We don't hear it's transmit and receive. When you key the radio, do you hear any noise coming out of this? You've got the Browning. So is there an equivalent? 23 Skiddoo's got it right. We used to call it the Bing for the Buddy, but I'm not hearing it tonight. So do you hear anything when you're keying the radio out of the speaker?
No, the only thing I hear is if I get too close to the microphone. It is the Turner Plus 3 desk mic. You'll hear the transmitter tube rattling in there. Too much going into it there. So back off the mic is what it's telling you. That's all I hear out of this radio.
Oh, yeah. I remember the guy saying, I hear the transmitter and the modulation tube talking. I used to do it in my Regency, too. You crank the audio with that double sideband suppressed carrier. You could feel the radio vibrate. You could see that. I don't know, was it 6AQ5, 6BQ5? You could see that thing lighten up, turning blue. So you had to be careful. The infamous Buddy bass. All my whole early high school CB career, there were 2 stations that ran a Buddy bass, and they were always loud. And I always thought, boy, there must be some special radio, because they weren't like the Johnsons and the Brownings and And the Trans, everybody had a lot of those, but the Buddies, there was only 2 of them in the Southern California area that I can remember. And then one of the guys moved up here a long time ago. I'm looking to see if we have any information at oldtuberadio.com. Doesn't look like. We got some nice pictures, though. And you can hear it right here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Back to you for a transmission. Sounding good on the Buddy bass. And like I said, I like it in midnight mode when I'm wearing the headphones. Over.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, somebody came blasting in there over the toppies. I don't know if we're getting some kind of conditions maybe coming in. But, yeah, thanks for the time tonight for the old Buddy bass.
Oh, we might have some openings. It was 9:30 last night, and I'll kind of jump in and out here, when the band opened up, and I just got a note. Mr. Nobody says they can hear us. So, all right, that we might be jumping up into NorCal, Oregon, Washington, the Squamish Boys. We might get our 5 minutes of fame here. Over. Thanks for radio number 3, the Buddy TX11B, RC11B. Over. This is the Basic Dennis. Over.
I was on the phone, but I had the radio low. Was there a question about the Buddy?
Oh, I had a question about the Buddy on the receiver, the dial. Is it on a string, like a shortwave receiver, when that little red thing is moving around? What's turning that? How's that turning?
It's on a string, just like the old-time radios. Yeah, it's on a string, and I think it's got one reduction gear. It's got a reduction gear on the shaft going into the main pulley area. But, yep, it's a string. Whew.
Yeah, so Sean is right. And, being gentle with that, giving it time to sort of, stretch and grip and then go slow. I have a couple of old radios like that, and you want to be, don't be in a hurry. If you're on channel 1 and there's something going on channel 3, just take your time. You'll get there.
I think somebody's keying up out there, but it might be Skip. Okay, if the pointer seems to slip a bit, the pointer is on the string, and 2 metal deals, one on either side of how it sits on there, compresses onto the string. And if it's not tight enough, it may slip a little bit, okay? You can make sure it's tight, but not too tight, and then you can do a little bit of lubrication up on the top, and then it's okay.
It is tight enough. Over.
It is working.
You said you always liked it tight.
Easy there, Harv.
Yeah, maybe we've got some Skip. All right, thank you, Harvey. Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Richard, Wild Wildemore. I don't know what happened to our 6L6, which is a tube that sometime is in the Buddy bass. I fired it back up again, so our 6L6 is now beaconing over at oldtuberadio.net. And we're standing by. Is the band opening up? Who's out there listening? The Old Tube Radio Network, Central California.
Hey, Dennis, it's definitely opening up. Hey, it's opening up, and that guy was definitely stroking and smoking.
Yeah, we're getting our little 5 minutes of meteor scatter tonight. Anyway, sounding good. If you've got the replay, you'll hear it.
Hey, 410 Roger. Well, I'll get out the middle of the road. I just wanted to tell you, it was definitely loud and proud up here on the east side of Washington State.
All right, good stuff. We're down in Central California, oldtuberadio.net, doing what we do best with the Old Tube Radio. Sounding good tonight. Over.
Good out here. You got that thing definitely making it sound good.
All right, don't you love these openings? The band isn't supposed to be up. And it just all of a sudden there's a hole somewhere, and here comes the Skipland sounding good to some nice audio. That is 100% ESSB good AM audio. Thanks. And we can hear somebody way in the background. I'm going to bring up the DX map, and if you got a radio, Let me refresh this. If you got a radio, go ahead and bring it up. And there it is. So with DX Maps waking up here.
Which I prefer. It works very well. You just have to crank the RF gain up quite a bit if you're going crystal receive.
You have an RF gain on that? Okay, got it.
You must have a buddy base, and his is the same way then. You got to crank the RF gain up on the crystal for the receive.
Right, okay, there's the DX map. We have openings. You can see it's exactly where they just came in from, Oregon, Washington. And going down into Colorado, maybe our Colorado stations, the Utah stations are listening in tonight.
Appreciate that.
No doubt about it. I mean, good Lord and a quarter, man. Hey, Dennis coming here about 9. Hey, but you got 5 over the top, so you're definitely way louder than Dennis is.
That's... go ahead, Sanger.
That's outstanding. Yeah, the buddy, boy, it's really making a trip over there. That audio report replay, that's outstanding. Yeah, the buddy, boy, it's really making a trip over there.
And that's what we're hearing on this side.
I sure appreciate it, man. You have yourself a great evening there.
Hey, 410 Roger. I'll get out the middle of the road, let you do your thing. We're waving Dennis, and we're back.
All right, thanks for the audio playback. Super, super nice audio tonight. So it's always good to have a station that can play it back and sound good. Now, I know 428 is out there. Squamish Boy's trying tonight.
Is that Dwayne?
It sure is. Just wanted to check in and say good evening.
Well, hey, Dwayne, 14, waving a hand.
Hey, Sean.
Yes?
Show off.
Yeah, the buddy is the master of the airwaves this evening.
That's why JT won't take it off the table.
It's proven itself tonight. This is outstanding.
Somebody ask Dwayne what he's talking on.
Hey, Dwayne, what are you talking on out there?
Okay, got it.
What's Dwayne talking on?
He's on the President Edison.
On what?
He's on one of the presidents.
Addison, that's what it was.
No wonder I can't hear him. It's transistors.
He's probably switching coax as fast as he can.
Quack, quack over the old Tube Radio Network. Skip is in. We'll take locals if you got a radio, or if you want to see if we can get a couple of DX check-ins. We're listening. Well, at least the chart isn't lying. When we first started, there was absolutely nothing on the map, so... And 428 is out there. Need that DX cloud to move up just a little bit farther north. And hello, Hans, Alpha 17315. We're talking Skip here tonight. The band just opened up.
All right, I'm going to try and check in.
All right, it's warming up. We're listening. Yeah, we're not going away. Give it a minute. Yeah, there's an eagle over. Yeah, Idaho's beaconing in over.
14, can you knows which one I'm checking in?
Yeah, which Browning is it over?
Mark 3, the Mark 3 used to be Ed's.
All right, we got a picture, confirmation here. You're on the list, over.
Break OTR.
Now here's the guy. Here's the guy that was talking last night on the satellite, or on the meteor scatter, and now the band just opened up to Washington and Idaho. Hello, radio.
SWL 52 behind the golden microphonium.
Sounding good. Yeah, the band just opened up. We just got our contact out of state. So how many did you log in last night?
0. I had one decode from out of state.
One official, that would be the 73?
Yeah, it was just his call and his grid, so I knew somebody was there, but it's not like I was going to sit there and try to complete with them over 2 hours.
Yeah, you got to be in the mode, and you got to be in the mood. Anyway, I learned something, and thanks for putting all the stuff together. I enjoyed that. Over.
Oh, very good. Yeah, thank you. And we had a good turnout last night, and we'll see everybody for the picnic next month.
All right, I think I can go to that. We'll have to find out. Anyway, we got you checked in. I don't know if you started the walk or you're back from the walk, but it's a nice evening out there.
I am just about to exit stage left and go wander around the neighborhood, so we'll catch you later.
Okay, well, 11 just opened. Somebody just said 10 is open, so 6 might be open as well. You never know. So do your thing, and thanks for checking in. 52.
60.
All right, let's thank you. Let's take 20 and then 60. Hello, Harvey.
Okay. I'm checking in on a Tram 70C mobile base. It's hooked up to a power supply at home. And it's got 13 crystals to make the 23 channels on transmit, and it's tunable receive with a 1 crystal position in front for a receive channel, if you want that. A hand mic is what I'm using, so audio-wise, that's what it is. I could plug in an amplified D104, but I didn't think of that.
Well, I don't think you need it. It sounds like the hand mic, but I've got the brochure, the Tram TR70C Mobile. What did they do? They just took the other radio and stuffed it in a smaller case, it looks like.
Pretty much so. It looks like the 27 series. But anyway, excuse me. This one's working fine. It's already sold. It's going to be shipped back east next week. Along with, well, not along with, I just shipped 4 radios back east today, so trying to get them looked at and shipped out.
In ship shape. You know, that's got 12 tubes. Does that have a rectifier tube in it?
No. Couple of transistors on the back.
Okay, because I think I saw it said that it had 12 tubes. I'm thinking, what was the 12 tubes? All right, there's the picture of the radio. Good luck driving down the road, working that receive tune. I think that's why you've got a crystal socket in there on the front.
Well, pretty much so. Okay, well, that'll be it for this one. I might hook up another one, but I had a request, but they wanted it with a D104, but I don't have one wired for that radio, so we'll see. Okay, I will let you go.
All right, just quickly, that is the microphone. That's the stock microphone that's plugged right in the front, right?
Roger. It's a 355C Turner and mic.
All right, that's probably the one we're showing here. Looks good. It sounds good. No, not a problem at all. So obviously, if it sounds that good, you had a amplified D104 Demco modulator with your favorite Shure 44 going to sound good. Thanks for bringing it by. The Tram TR73, and yeah, put a bracket on it, and then it's a mobile.
Roger, TR70C, and somebody just keyed.
All right, Skip is coming in, so we'll acknowledge that, and then we'll head over to Joe. Hello, 60. What's on the bench? Over.
Thank you, Dennis. On the bench here is my checking in on Buck from Cobra, the Cam 88.
Okay, there's the replay. Hang on one, Joe. There is, I don't know if you heard that, Herbie, there is the replay. That's you sound about the same 1,000 miles away as you do 10 miles away. So that's not bad. We've got some good propagation. And Joe, what was your radio again? Over.
The Cam 88. My so-called bus, they call it, the Cobra Cam 88.
Yeah, all right. That one's sounding good. The Cobra Cam 88. There was an 88. And 89, we'll give you the dual school bus picture here before we go out. There are 2 versions. One has a range expander, range boost switch near the meter, and one does not. Which one do you have over?
We have the one with the switch there between the meter and the radio, the range expander.
Are you using that? Is it on or off? Over.
But she's on.
And you probably told me, but I didn't write it down. The type of microphonium?
04. Amplified.
All right, amplified D104. It's not super loud, so you got everything adjusted okay. But I'm thinking you've got amplification on the mic and amplification on the radio. You might be able to tweak it a little bit, but don't do it now because you don't need to do that. Cobra Cam 88 from B&K Dynascan. It's got a cool meter on it. It's a different style.
I kind of like the meter on it. I've always liked it since the day I got it. Yeah, kind of unusual. Like looking at a circle. She's well lit though, and the old modulation light there's flickering away.
All right, there's the close-up. We might maybe get closer to that. You can see relative power output. It goes to plus 30 dB, and then you've got your power output on the bottom. So is it lit? Is there a light in that thing?
Well lit.
Well lit. Really well lit from the items of interest. Let's see. Someone checking in on Tram in Wildemar. Okay, we got all sorts of stuff going on. Thanks, Joe, for bringing it by. You're going to be Radio 6 with the Cobra. Over.
Dennis, appreciate
it. From Dynascan B&K. And what's going on in Wildemar? Are we getting south skip now? band's definitely opening up.
Hey, Dennis.
Yes, sir. Over.
I just wanted to make sure you needed this as the radio that I picked up for you at number 7, the Browning Mark III.
Yeah, it comes in as like 9 over, and then it's quick QSB over. Okay, we heard the Mark III before, over. Yeah, no, it's sounding good. He was listening in earlier, too. It's nice and loud, over. All right, thanks, Dwayne. Yeah, they were talking about maybe a radio blackout tonight and things wouldn't be good, but just like they did last night on the Ditchbanks sideband net, we get that little opening. Thanks for joining in. If you're watching the video, there is what's happening with the DX. It's sort of curling around, but it's keeping right up there in Washington and northern Idaho. But it's trying to wrap back around. You can see there's a little leg coming into Southern California. I think that's what Richard mentioned. All right, let me see. Anybody else wanting to check in? Because I'm going to clear out. Let the local stations do some DX here because the band is open if you want to try it out. So, anybody else before we sign out of here? And what I'll do is I'll leave the audio stream up for a little bit so people can hear what's going on. But the Old Tube Radio Network. Anybody else? See, that's the thing. You never know when the band is going to open.
Helps if I key up the right mic.
Beagle or Bagel?
There's the Beagle. Okay, check it in. Oh boy. Okay. I got to figure out. Looks like I'm going to be busy next week. Okay. We will catch you next week then, Dennis. Thank you. Good show.
All right, I should be here. I had all sorts of problems tonight with computer stuff, but everything seems to be going in. So I think I'm going to jump out while it's still working. From the DX map, things are open. So for some local stations, anybody out there want to try the DX, it is opening up. The Old Tube Radio Network. Where's the fanfare? I can't get out without the fanfare, over.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
Current and final OTR totals. We did pretty good tonight. The band is open right now. 428 is trying. 30 made it through. Mr. Nobody made it through. There were a couple other stations that we probably missed. Southern California is trying to come in. 7 radios tonight. Looks like the Brownings might be the most heard radio. Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV from Sean starting things off. We heard the Robin T123B. That was from Joe, and it looks like he may have put out the line and reeled in somebody that wants to buy that radio. Sounded good. It's on the replay if you want to hear it. Radio number 3, Sean on the Buddy Bass, RC11B, TX11B. You get your fill of the Buddy. I bet JT's going to have his on next program next Saturday. Thank you, Sean. Dwayne from Idaho on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, a radio that was used as net control. I kid you not. The radio he was on tonight was used by Mr. Ed for net control when he was doing net control, and now it's coming back and talking to us from Idaho. Pretty cool. Thanks, Dwayne. Harvey on the TR70C. That's the big tram mobile radio. Joe on the Cobra Cam 88. Somebody said that's the first time they've seen the Cobra Tube radio. That was one of their last ones, but that's the big bus. And then Browning Golden Eagle R68T68, the first Browning to wear the Golden Eagle moniker before the Mark II. I'll leave the stream audio up for a little bit and see how it plays out with DX coming in. If you're listening at oldtuberadio.net, go ahead and take a transmission from wherever you might be and see if you can pop in on the receiver here and make a contact. I will go back to the map. There's what's happening. We just got some Southern California coming in, Colorado, Arizona. It could be anything. We've widened up into the northern. So I'm going to shut up and listen in. So give it a shot. We'll be monitoring.
Show tonight, everybody. 73s.
I hear Drain out there talking to somebody.
Yeah, I just can't pull out who it is. Must be Paradise, California, then?
Maybe he's talking to Scott.
Well, you are definitely beaming in, Dwayne. Yeah, I got the old Colt Midnight Special for the skip on. Smoking in here. I have to back up that Browning when it pings, man. It really comes screaming in. Yeah, well, you made a solid trip on my end all evening long. I love it. That's the most fun when you're able to come sneaking in there like that. Nobody. You can't compare him to anybody. The way he come in here, it was unbelievable. It's so strong, I didn't even recognize myself on the replay. Yeah, it kind of faded out at the end there, but yeah, when he started replaying, I thought that was a really great deal for everybody to get to hear this. Harvey was smoking on his end, too. Yeah, right about the time you fade out, man, I tell you, you come blasting back in. So, yeah, I'll let Dirt Dog know that you tell them a happy birthday, and you guys have yourself a good evening as well. Appreciate it.
24 trying to get to 123 out to do some cooking. We'll see you.
right, well, band's still open. British Columbia still trying to get in there, so we'll be listening for a bit. Here's the latest map update. Turned on the noise reduction, but that's why everything sounds a little digitally. Here's the maximum frequency map. Pretty light. Got some New Mexico and Texas, but it's only up to about 15 meters. So the question is, would we hear anything on the 10-meter beacons? It's pretty weak right here. Quickly switching to 10. Not hearing any of the low-power beacons. Not hearing anything at FT8. Back to 11.